Hey guys, lots of news came out back to back to back. We kind of all saw it coming. PSA, um, they actually are doing the right thing for once in a while, and they're just not taking submissions. Um, Tag also is not taking submissions. Ironically, though, it just kind of feels like Tag and PSA are kind of in this back to back, to where Tag does something and then PSA does something similar. So it's kind of like PSA is just doing their best to keep along and follow with Tag. So enough said on that. We are doing a quick thing of 12 cards. These 12 specifically, you probably maybe even seen them in some other episodes. I've kind of pulled them out. I'm redoing it real quick. I'm submitting 100 plus cards to CGC, but these 12 are going to be separate services. The other 100 something are going to be the economy tier. 11 of these are going to be the standard, and one of them is going to be the express. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. We're going to play Guess the Grade. Now, I still, unfortunately, am waiting on my 21 cards, my first 21 cards I sent to CGC to come back. Now, they are past due. Not by a horrendous amount, but by more than I wish they were. Originally, they were meant to be 45 business days. I've gotten bad at trying to figure out what all is included with business days, because some holidays count, some holidays don't. I put it in the chat, and for today, chat said it's been 50 business days. So 5 business days behind, which isn't the end of the world. I did reach out to CGC, at least just to their good size ding there. See, I wish I was a card repair, because I feel as though that's repairable, but to each their own. It looks big on camera. It's actually, in person, it's pretty minuscule. Some stuff there, some stuff here. Ooh, honestly, PSA 7 to 8. Honestly, yeah, still 8. If it wasn't for that size ding, I would say 9, but 7 to 8 isn't really insane either. And so, oh my gosh, totally lost train of thought. Right, still waiting on those 21 cards from CGC. Right now they're at 50 business days, but that comes on to another subject, hence the title of this video. So PSA and Tag, they've been making announcements. As far as I'm aware of, CGC has kept their mouth shut. Unfortunately for them, I was paying attention, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to brief it. So, when I did my 21 card submission, CGC's turnaround time was 45 business days. I didn't do their, whatever the one is, the bottom. I don't know if they call it bulk, and I think they call it something else, but essentially their bulk tier, their lowest tier, was an 80-day turnaround. Well, they haven't said anything, but they changed those service dates on their website. So now, instead of a 45 business day turnaround for economy, it's 65 business days. And for bulk, wherever the tier that's below that, it was 80 business days, and now I think it said it's 120. That's a pretty drastic jump. This one's difficult because, yeah, it's kind of off center. And then you've got kind of like this, it's not really damage. It's just, this card's kind of known to just kind of peel apart at the edges. And I know it doesn't sound great, but like it's kind of like a known thing. It's not kind of necessarily the same classification of most damages. So I'd say 8 to 9. It's probably more on the 8 side, but we're wanting to be a little hopeful. I know we say we usually don't want to be. This one we are, and oh my goodness, I have no idea where I put the penny sleeve and top loader for this thing. I just had it. Obviously. Very weird. That's okay. We have plenty laying around. Oh, there it is. That's why I couldn't find it. I put it on top of some other ancient muse. So, CGC has gone the other way and has decided to be quiet about their changes. I don't know why. I have one theory. My one theory is CGC doesn't necessarily want to get flooded and then catch the reputation of having to increase their prices. I think one thing that they are known for, and they like to be known for, I think they like to be known that they don't cost nearly as much as the others. And I think that's fair to want to be known for that, you know, to be cost less in terms of the upfront fee, no upcharge, good turnaround times, beautiful slabs, and then still also your product holding value. Honestly, they do, and they're picking up more and more so. Ooh, this one's a tough one. I don't think it would 10. I think a 9 is very fair. So that's me giving them some leeway. I think CGC doesn't want to be. Oh, hold on. Maybe that's why. Wow, you gotta really hold that under the most perfect light to. It's. Oh, buddy, I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me. I don't have my glasses on. Again, I only need those to see far, not near. I think it's just. Oh man, it is so hard to see. I don't know if we'll be able to see it on camera. Maybe I gotta really zoom. There we go. It's like, it's not a crease. It is just the most subtle of like a long dent. And it's not on the backside as far as I'm aware. We just took a look at that. I have no idea what to judge that, to be honest. I am going to start being the nerd at, because I got this at a card show. I'm going to start being the nerd at card shows that starts to use a light, like a strong light, like the iPhone light. I'm going to start fucking doing that, because, man, I have had nothing but bad luck with the cards at card shows right now. Oh, it's so subtle. Oh, it's so subtle. I think it's still gonna be a 9, to be honest. Right? I put 9. I think it will. So yeah, I don't think they want to lose their reputation, and I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing in the world. I think they really want to keep that reputation, and I think they just want to have a steady flow. I don't think they want to have to deal with these all of a sudden overwhelm you markets, because the truth is, in order to kind of slow things down, one of the first things you do is you charge more, and that's just basic economics. It's one, it's more profitable for you, the company, if you're the company, and two, it does slow things down. Now, I do think that there's some benefit to that. I really wouldn't mind if they charged a little bit more. I know it's like, what the heck, but I mean, they already charge very little compared to the other. Oh, this is better shape than I thought it was. I think a 10 is being a little hopeful, but I'll say 9 through 10. And so, yeah, they don't have to bring in the penny sleeve. Oh, we're good. The other thing is when it's not always a direct correlation, right? Because like you can grade cards, and like sometimes cards that are already graded will end up being worth less than what the grading fee was. And I don't think that should ever be the case. I think the grading fee should hold a minimum level, and then plus the value of the card itself. Um, and obviously just the economics show that people don't really have a concern about that. So this card is a little unfortunate. Again, I wish I had my light. I mean, I had my phone. I should have been more diligent. So the guy, this was with a trade and some cash and various things. There's a whole deal. This was a part of it. And he said, and this is from him being a vendor and him having also lots of other graded cards, that he himself had this, gauged at around a 9. And I threw a quick look at it, and I go, yeah, that's not too far off. And again, I think I did most of that with the top loader still on. I don't think I bothered pulling it out. And unfortunately, like, even if you meet people who have like a whole bunch of cards going on and they're vendors and they're dealing with some decent amounts of dollars, you know, pull out that light and check it. Now, I think this is borderline right on a 9. Now, there's things going on with the back of this card that kind of not really perfect. It's not really a 100% smooth back. I don't think that's necessarily as strongly held against you as other things like whitening and nicks and dings and uplifts and centering. I think this is just just a very unsmooth back. I don't really know what causes. I don't know if this is just from the factory, but yeah, it's actually not the prettiest on the back. And when I had looked at it, as I looked through a top loader, I believe, I just saw that one whitening nick there, and I was like, yeah, it's only a little itty bitty bit of whitening. I can see that at a 9. Now, the fortunate thing is it does look like this is a error card, because again, if this was like stain ink, like from someone using a pen or something, oh, it's bothering me. There's like one little thing there. If this was like ink from someone getting it on there, you'd see it above the light, not below the light. When it's the stuff that's printed onto the card from the factory, that stuff will be below the light. And then if something was added to the card, like some kid with a pen or something, you'd actually see that above the light. The other thing that's interesting, and it's all within this area, is the star itself seems to be misaligned. So I guess I got that going for me. I originally did think this would 9. Now I kind of gotta say 8 to 9, but I did make a note of error. Now a 9 would be fantastic. That's really what we're hoping for, but I don't know if we're gonna get that lucky. Now, for those who don't know, this is considered the reverse hollow because it has the stamp. Some people just refer to it as stamped cards, which is much more logical and easier. But for whatever reason, a lot of the systems it's called reverse hollow. This is the hollow version, no stamp, hollow, and it's all there. Some scratches in the hollow, some kind of smudge up scratch. Kind of hard to really explain exactly what I'm looking at with that. And the front of this card, really not that bad. And we'll get to the back. I think the back is where there was some issues. Yeah, I got some whitening on the corner, some whitening on that corner. And 8's pushing it, but I'll say 7 to 8. I don't particularly think it would 8, but again, let's have some hope. Typically just the amount of whitening, like in terms of the corners that it's on. I'm trying to be careful. I really want these grades to go well. This one I have pre-looked and I have looked at several times over. So I had several of these as a kid, and unfortunately I think I gave them to people I liked. I was a real big Mew collector, really purple cards in general, but I really like Mew, and I had several of these, just shiny. And not a lot of people were really interested in Southern Islands. And Southern Islands is one of the coolest sets. It's one of the first sets to have multiple Pokemon in the background of the actual card itself. So, very cool set. Unfortunately, there is no Southern Islands Charizard. That would be super awesome, even as a later release. Now, what we've got going on is we've got silvering, and silvering will look like a lot. Like even on camera, you can see it. It looks like there's a lot, but it's a very, 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 very fine line. Like in person, the reason why it looks like a lot is because the light catches it, and so I think sometimes it just comes down to who your grader is. Now, the centering itself is actually really good. Just the tiniest bit heavier left and right, but top to bottom is equal. And for this card, I do believe this is my original card when I was a kid. For this card to have this good of a surface, and I didn't have top loaders or penny sleeves back then, so incredible that as a binder card, it's in this good of a condition. Plus, I played with my cards, so yeah, it's still mirror finish. Voila. How's the back? And the back also is really good. Really good. I'm tooting my own horn. I understand. I probably really should guess 8 to 9, but I think I'm just going to guess. I'm just going to guess 9. It's how I feel. It's also a little bit what I want for this card. But yeah, there's really there's not many reasons why that shouldn't get a 9. And it'd be fantastic because that card is a 9's worth several thousand. I don't think it'll 10. As a 10, it's worth a good bit of money. Up next is a classic. Honestly, though, I am seeing this specific one kind of fall off into obscurity. And I think what's going on, one, right, it's not the coolest, but it is still actually, decent art. He isn't, even his fire is holographic in this scene. And it's actually one of the few Pokemon from a base set that actually has something besides just the color of their elemental going on. It's got some shadowing going on. It's got him actually attacking. So, yeah. And I think what's going on though, I don't think it's necessarily people losing favor with Charizard. I think what it is, and this is a theory, and I'm seeing some really strong correlation to where people are really becoming pop count hunters. Hold on, I want to see if I can get rid of that. Yeah, there we go, a little smudge. People are becoming pop count hunters. And the issue is base set Charizard is probably one of the most graded cards, with people regrading base set Charizard over and over and over again. And the regrade, see the back's not so great. The back is rough as hell. We're out of 7 category. We're probably in 6 category. I know that it seems like that's really rough. But this is what a 6 would look like on the back. If the front was more beat up, we'd be in the 5s, but because it's just on the back, we're kind of in the 6s. And so when you look at base set Charizards, the pop count will say, like, even for just one grade type, it'll say like, oh, there's 50,000 of that base set Charizard. And all honesty, I don't think there is. I think the pop count for base set Charizard is really messed up based on people regrading it, is they don't remove the prior cards from the pop count when they regrade it. They just add to the pop count. And like when you go to a card show, do me this favor. Walk around and see how many base set Charizards you see. And I bet you only see a handful. Just slight edging right there. So really funny, this card has blown up. I do wish there was a hollow version of it. I think what kind of adds to it is the fact that Gengar is almost like this will be like the shiny form of Gengar before shinies came out. This card came out in like 19, I think it's dated as early as 1997, but like it's really between 1998 and 1999. And so, one, people like it because it's Sabrina's Gengar, but two, I think they really like it because the moon in the back. I think they like it because the pop count of this card, at least rated, is pretty low. And I think they like it that the Gengar is black instead of his purplish color. So it is a unique card, and like for the most part, hold on, I want to get rid of that little smudge. You gotta be careful getting rid of smudges, or at least careful the way I do it, because I just use my fingernail for the most part. It doesn't want to move. I don't want to dig any deeper into the card. And really the only issue with this card is mostly the centering. It's not great. I would give this like a 9. And so it's now become a really sought out after card. And I have had a few before it got too crazy. So that's always nice in my favor. Up next is a Sylveon. Honestly, never been a huge fan. I understand the point. It's because they're trying to make sure Eevee has one of all the elements, but as far as I'm aware of, there are at least 2 elements, I know technically 3, that Eevee doesn't have an evolution for yet. One, I think you are all immediately thinking of, you could be thinking of either one immediately. And one of them is, for a brief time there was Dragon Element cards, and there is no Dragon Element Eevee evolution. So that would be a cool one for sure. I don't know how I feel about all these edges. They're definitely, it's not quite damaged. It's like it just wasn't folded over correctly. I'm not really certain what to put for that. So there's no Dragon evolution of Eevee, which I think would be cool, but I'm actually more so interested in seeing what the Metal evolution version of Eevee would be. Ooh, this is rough. I guess 8 to 9. And you know what? I'm going to go as far to say 8 to 10, just because I don't know how a lot of those things will be counted. Yeah. And then the third one that you'll all probably like, well, what the hell is left? Well, there's no evolution of just the colorless evolution element Eevee, and I think that would be cool. Like just Eevee evolves into another form of Eevee. Okay, I cannot tell if that is some sort of print line or the actual, I think it's just the actual design of the card. This line, it's like, it's too perfect in terms of its curvature. So we're going to go with that. Probably a lesser known Mew, but Pop Series cards are really popping off right now. Pretty good back. A little bit of whitening, some more whitening there. Oh, probably just guess a flat 8. If it was less whitening, I'd say 8 to 9, maybe even just 9, but with what we saw, probably 8. Now, the Express card, and yes, and all I did just, apparently I won't be giving these in a box, as I just wrote Express on the top loader itself. I'm only doing one because Express, in my opinion, I don't like paying really a whole lot for grading, and Express, I think, before my discounts is $100, and then with my discounts, it's 80. So, not really a big fan of paying such high prices, but I'm doing it for 2 reasons. One, the turnaround time, and 2, just the insurance to that. So this is a card I believe that would pristine. I don't think they're going to hold those. Again, we're zoomed in. We have heavy white light on it. I don't think they're going to hold those very minor. They're not even really print lines. They're just a tiny scratch in the wax. And again, I want to make sure I'm not seeing things, but it looks like there's also like a misprint yellow dot. We don't even want to scratch it. See? There's no dot there. And then there's the dot right there, and I'm pretty certain that's like an ink dot. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh, I hope I kept that in the right order. That Mew was last. Sylveon. Let me take a look at that myself real quick. Because, oh, okay. That came off very easily. So that was just a itty bitty bit of debris, very tiny. That's not whitening, that's just the sheen on her hair. Oh god, I hope that's just the sheen on her hair. I'm so... Yeah, that's just the sheen on her hair. This card, it's, in my opinion, it's pretty close to perfect. There was only one thing that I thought that could have been better when I was looking at this. So let's zoom out. And you'll see in a second, I'm certain, like you guys are like, well, if we can see that, then it shouldn't be pristine, but I do think they always give some leeway no matter what. And especially when it comes to these original Japanese cards, and where it kind of is meh, is the centering just isn't 100% perfect. But it's so typical with these Japanese cards, and I've seen pristines from this era that they were like, hey, like, you know, there's only so much you can do. So I am really hoping this this gets a pristine. I was hoping it was going to be a 1 of 1. Unfortunately, it's not. Unfortunately, there's already been like 4, I think. But it would look really cool as a pristine, and I would really like to get that. Yeah, I'm trying to black label some way, somehow, and I'd like to black label in a big way, not just some modern cards. I'd like to black label with something vintage. Oh right, 10 BL baby. So these are going to be separate, but they're all going together. We're going to drop these off at a card show, and really hoping the best for these 12 along with all the other grades. And thanks for watching.